So here's something I wish someone had just told me from the start. The people who are actually making good AI videos, they're not using more tools than you. Most of them are working inside one platform that already has everything built in. And the second I switched to doing that, my outputs got a lot better. In this video, I'm going to walk you through that platform and show you the exact workflow from your first clip all the way to footage that actually looks cinematic. Before you generate anything, there's one platform decision that is worth making first, because the most common mistake people make when getting into AI video is subscribing to platforms one at a time. They just keep switching tools and somehow end up paying for all of them with nothing they actually post. The real issue is that every platform only gives you access to their own tools. So when a specific shot isn't working in one model, you have no options. The way to fix this is to use one platform that already has all of those models in one place, and that platform is Higgsfield. When you open it, you'll see a model selector at the top. Right now, you have access to Google Veo 3.1, Kling 3.0, WAN 2.6, Minimax, Hailuo 02, Grok Imagen, Seedance, and more. Also Nano Banana Pro for image generation, all without switching tabs or managing separate subscriptions. Here's what each one is for, and you don't need to memorize this because you just read it once so you know where to go when you need it. So Veo 3.1 is Google's video model, and right now it's the strongest for realistic cinematic output. What makes it different from the others is that it generates audio at the same time with dialogue, sound effects, ambient noise all in one generation. If you want a clip that looks and sounds like it came off a real film set, this is where you start. Kling is faster, and it's the one to use when you're testing ideas or iterating through a lot of options because it won't drain your credits the same way Veo does. It also has a feature called motion control that we'll get to later, and that feature alone makes it worth keeping in your workflow. Nano Banana Pro is the image generator inside Higgsfield. Before you animate anything, you'll use this to create your starting frames. It's the best model available right now for editing images, keeping visual consistency, and generating scenes that actually look like reference quality photography. Everything lives in one place, which is the starting point. Now that you know the platform and what each tool does, let's actually make something. The fastest way to understand how AI video works is to make one right now with just a text prompt and a model. In Higgsfield, go to the video section. You'll see the model selector right here, and for this first video, choose Veo 3.1. It works really well with a specific prompt structure. It's called the camera first approach, and it works because Veo prioritizes camera movement. When you define the camera first, the model builds the entire scene around that motion. The result is a clip that actually feels like it was captured on a real camera. The structure goes in 4 parts. First, the camera movement, what the camera is doing in the shot. Second, the scene description, like the environment and everything happening inside it. And the third, a transition or change, something that shifts during the clip. Fourth, the aesthetic, the look, the tone, the lighting style. Here is an example using this structure. So for camera movement, we say camera moves steadily sideways. For scene, through a busy medieval marketplace in 1400s France, muddy streets, merchants selling bread and cloth, chickens running across the path. Transition, the camera continues past the last stall and slows to a stop. And aesthetic, overcast lighting, desaturated colors, cinematic documentary style, handheld camera shake. That is the complete prompt. Notice that there is nothing vague in it. Every part of the structure is filled in with specific details. The more specific you are, the more control you have over the output. A vague prompt gives the AI too much room to guess, and that is where bad outputs come from. Set the resolution to the highest option available and duration to 8 seconds, and then generate. What you'll get back is a clip that actually looks like it was filmed somewhere. The camera movement will match what you asked for. The environment will feel like a real place. And if there's ambient sound in the scene, like crowd noise, footsteps, or weather, then Veo will generate it automatically. There is another prompt structure that works well across all models. It's called the SAT method, and it stands for subject, action, and technicals. You start with the subject, who or what is in the frame, then the action, what they are doing, then the technicals like the lighting, camera angle, film style, tone. The reason this structure works so well for text to video is that it forces you to think about movement first, which is the most important thing in any video clip. Here's an example using SAT. The subject is a woman made entirely of flowing white marble fabric. Action, standing still while the wind whips the fabric violently around her. Technicals being standing in the middle of a vast dry salt flat at sunset. Golden hour lighting, warm and dramatic, shot on 35mm film, low angle, slow motion. AI video handles slow movements better than fast ones. The more motion you introduce into a scene, the more inconsistency you'll see. So keep in mind that using words like slowly or carefully in your prompts will give you smoother, more controlled results. You can always speed things up in editing later. There is one more setting worth knowing before you generate if your output is not matching what you expected. Do not rewrite the whole prompt. Just change the one thing, either the camera movement, the scene description, or the aesthetic. Changing everything at once makes it hard to know what actually fixed the problem. Small adjustments, one at a time, will teach you much faster what the model responds to. You now know how to make a video from a text prompt, and you have 2 prompt structures to work with, but text to video has a limit. At some point, you'll want a specific person in the shot, or a specific location, or a consistent visual style across multiple clips, and text alone can't get you there. The method that solves all of that is what we're covering next. Everything I'm showing you in this video lives inside Higgsfield. I have left a link for you in the description below, so you can follow along with everything from here. Image to video is the method that every serious AI video creator depends on. Once you understand how it works, it will become the foundation of everything you make. The main difference is that with text to video, you're giving the AI a description and hoping it builds something close to what you imagined. With image to video, you give the AI a starting frame, an actual image, and that image becomes the first frame of your video. The AI reads the style, the lighting, the subject, the environment, all of it from that image. Your only job in the prompt is to describe what moves. To use this workflow in Higgsfield, start in the image section. Open Nano Banana Pro because generating images with this model is straightforward. You describe a photograph and that's enough. Set the resolution to 2K, that's the sweet spot for quality without slowing things down too much, and generate two options and pick the one that looks right. Once you have your image, upload it into the image to video section. Now because the image already has the subject, the style, the location, and the aesthetic, your prompt only needs to cover one thing. That is the action, what moves, and how. That is the full prompt. It is specific enough that the AI knows what to do, and also short enough that it doesn't get confused by too many instructions at once. One thing that helps with image to video prompts is to use the phrase as if when you want the AI to understand the context behind an instruction. For example, instead of the person walks forward, write the person walks forward as if they just heard something behind them. The AI gets the full intent of the action, and the result will feel more natural and purposeful. Also, when you are happy with one generated clip, you can use it as a reference point for the next one. The last frame of the clip you just made becomes the starting image for the next clip. This means every clip you make flows directly into the next one, and because the starting frame is taken from the actual output rather than a separately generated image, the transition between clips is completely smooth, with no cuts or visible jumps, just one continuous motion that the viewer reads as real footage. That means you control where the video begins and where it ends, and the AI fills in the motion in between. To use it, grab the last frame of your video, then upload it as the starting image. Write a short prompt describing the motion and generate. All you need to do is combine the two videos together, and the result is a clip that moves from one exact position to another, with no randomness in the outcome. This is how you create seamless transitions between shots. The end frame of one clip becomes the start frame of the next, and the edit feels completely smooth. You now have full control over a single clip, everything from what it looks like, how it moves, and where it starts and ends. The next step is making sure that all your clips across an entire video feel like they belong together. That is a consistency problem, and solving it is what makes the difference between AI video that looks like AI video and AI video that actually looks cinematic. The reason most beginner AI videos look fake is not the models or the prompts. It's that nothing matches because the character looks slightly different in every shot. The lighting shifts and location feels like a different place depending on the angle. Fixing this starts before you generate a single video clip. It starts with building a consistent set of images, a shot list where every frame looks like it came from the same world. The process works like this. First, generate your key reference image. This is the anchor for everything else in your project. Take your time with it because this is the image that defines your character, your location, and your visual style. Generate it in Nano Banana Pro at 2K, pick the option that looks closest to what you imagined, and save it. From this point on, every other image you generate will reference this one. Here is how that works in practice. So you upload your key reference image into Nano Banana Pro as a reference input, then prompt for a different shot of the same scene. The model uses your reference image to keep the character and environment consistent. The result is a new shot that looks like it was taken in the same place, at the same time, by the same camera. From that new image, you can generate another angle, a close-up of the face, a wide shot of the room, or a low-angle shot looking up at the character. Each time, use the most recent image as your reference. You are building out a shot list where every image connects back to the original anchor. When you animate all of these clips, they will look like they belong in the same video because they all share the same visual foundation. For the highest level of character consistency, use a character reference sheet. This is a single image that shows your character from multiple angles at the same time, from front, side, back, and a 3/4 view. You generate it once and use it as a reference image whenever you need a new shot of that character from a different angle. It gives the AI a much more complete understanding of what the character looks like, which means less variation between shots. When it comes to what shots to ask for, think like a director. The most common one is an establishing shot, which is a wide view of the location that sets the scene before you get into the action. A medium shot where the subject is shown from the waist up and works for most talking or movement moments, and a close-up which focuses on the face or an important detail. Use it for emotional moments or anything you want the viewer to pay close attention to. An over-the-shoulder shot positions the camera behind one character while they look at another. It's the most natural shot for any dialogue scene. Beyond those, a few more are worth knowing. A low-angle shot looks up at the subject from below. It makes the character feel powerful, dominant, or threatening. A high-angle shot looks down from above. It does the opposite, making the subject feel small or exposed. Both are easy to prompt for, and both add a lot to how a scene reads emotionally. A A POV shot puts the camera in the character's perspective, and the viewer sees exactly what the character sees. It's useful anytime you want to pull the audience into a moment and make them feel like they're inside the scene rather than watching it from the outside. One more tip on building your image set is to generate shots of your environment separately from your characters. Create a base set of location images like the room, the street, the landscape without anyone in them. Then use those as references when you add characters into the scene. This way, your background stays completely consistent even as you generate new shots from different angles, and you have full control over placing characters exactly where you want them. For camera movement, Higgsfield has over a dozen presets built into the camera control section. You do not need to describe difficult movements manually. You just pick the preset that fits the shot and the platform handles the rest. The most useful camera moves are pretty simple. A dolly in is when the camera slowly moves toward your subject. It's great when you want a moment to feel heavier or more intimate. A pan is just the camera turning side to side to reveal something new in the frame. A tracking shot follows your subject as they move, so it works really well for walking scenes or anything where the character is moving through a space. And then there's the static shot. No movement at all. Honestly, that can be more powerful than people expect because stillness builds tension on its own. One more thing on camera and shot composition is that AI video performs best when the main subject is large in the frame. Close-up shots and medium shots give the model more to work with. The face is bigger, the details are clearer, and the result looks more realistic. Wide shots with large crowds or lots of small figures in the background are where quality drops the most. So whenever possible, keep your subject close to the camera. At this point, you know how to plan a shot list, keep your character consistent across clips, and choose the right camera movement for each shot. Your videos now have a coherent visual language. The next step is the set of tools that take everything from here to fully polished. There are tools built into Higgsfield that most people ignore, and those tools are the ones that actually make your video look good. The first tool is the prompt enhancer, and it is a button that sits directly next to the prompt box inside Higgsfield. You write a basic description of what you want, even just one sentence, and it rewrites your prompt into a full, detailed, cinematic version. It adds specificity on lighting, motion, depth, and aesthetic that most people would not think to include on their own. Turn it on whenever you feel like your prompt is too simple or you are not sure how to describe what you want. It gives the model much more to work with, and the output quality goes up noticeably. That brings us to the second tool, which is motion control. This is a cling feature inside Higgsfield, and it solves one of the hardest problems in AI video, that is getting a character to perform a very specific action. You use it by uploading a reference video with the kind of movement you want. This could be basically any motion clip up to 30 seconds long. Then generate or find an image of the character you want that performance transferred onto. In Higgsfield, open Kling Motion Control, upload your recording as the driving video, upload your character image, and generate. The AI maps your movement, like the pacing, the gestures, the head movements, and the hand positions, directly onto the character. And the third tool is generative editing. So after you generate a clip, there will be times when one element is wrong. The lighting is off, an object in the background does not fit, or a character does not look right for the scene. Instead of regenerating the entire clip, you can use Kling's edit tool inside Higgsfield to change specific elements of the finished video. Write a short description of the change by saying something like remove the object on the left side of the frame, or change the lighting to a warm sunset tone, and the AI applies it to the existing clip. You keep everything else exactly as it was. One thing worth knowing about Veo 3.1 specifically, it generates audio at the same time as the video. That includes ambient sound effects, crowd noise, weather, anything that would naturally be in the scene. It does this automatically without you asking for it. If there is something specific you want, let's say louder crowd cheering, a particular sound effect, then you can prompt for it. And if you want to add your own sound design later and do not want the AI generated audio in the way, you can add no sound effects or no music to your prompt and get back clean video only. If you want a character to speak and the dialogue is the most important element of the clip, Veo 3.1 handles that too. You write exactly what you want the character to say in the prompt, describe the emotion and voice quality, and the model generates the dialogue synced to the video. The results are good enough to use in a finished video without any post-production voice work.
But it still feels the same.
One main thing worth knowing, and this is something most beginners do not think about until they run into it. Not every shot will work in every model. You just pick a different model and try again. This is the real advantage of having everything in one place, that you always have options. The fourth tool is video upscaling. Here, when your clips are ready, go to the video upscale section in Higgsfield before you export anything. You have two options. The Higgsfield native upscaler works well for most footage. Topaz Video is the industry standard. If you need the absolute highest quality output, this is the one to use. Both also give you the option to increase increase the frame rate, which smooths out motion and makes the footage feel more like real video. So run every final clip through upscaling before it goes into your edit. Everything runs inside Higgsfield, and none of it requires any prior experience to get started. Everything in this video, every model, tool, and step runs inside one platform. Most people notice the same thing. The first video takes the longest, the second is faster, and after a few tries, you are generating shots in minutes, and it starts to feel completely natural. If you want to start building that today, sign up for Higgsfield using the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.